All right, we're here today with one of my oldest pals, Russell. How you doing today, man?
Pretty good. No complaints in my day today. How about you?
S- Solid. Did a little jogging, but besides that, I've been gaming a little bit. Have you checked out any of the newer Call of Duties, either Warzone or the call, not the
Cold
Cold
War?
War? Cold War. That's what it is.
No, I haven't really played. I mean, I played Warzone a little bit, but I'm not big into the battle royales. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I play Valorant, which is a different kind of game than Call of Duty. It's a little more like Counter Strike, you know.
Okay. For those who haven't played Valorant or know what it is, explain how it's different than a Call of Duty regular type of arcade shooter.
Well, like the main difference between like CS:GO and Valorant between like Call of Duty and like those like arcadey kind of shooters is that basically there's like you can't like run and gun. You have to have like pixel perfect aim. There's no aim assist also built in the game, so it's pretty hard to play with controllers. They don't really translate very well to console, so that's why they're not big in the console scene. Um, so yeah, you just have to pretty much control your spray. You can't spray your guns. Got to do burst fire. You can't move and shoot stuff like that.
Okay, okay. And you said also you have Gears downloaded.
Yeah, I have
Have
Gears
you
downloaded as well.
or have you played throughout the series, or are you just picking Gears up? I know you played Halo a lot.
I played Gears 1 to 3, and I played Gears 1 and 2 competitively, and then
Uh,
so I just picked up 5. I never played it too much for the story modes though.
okay, okay. Well, story mode is pretty good though on the new one. If you ever thought about running through it. You said you played competitively, like semi-pro, or did some
Yeah,
cash prizes or something like that.
got some cash prizes. I did the MLG circuit in like 2007, 2008 for Gears
Hmm.
1. Yeah.
So
And
didn't I remember you saying you did that for Halo as well?
yeah, I did Halo before that.
All right, which
Or
Halo? The first
Halo 2.
Halo Two. Okay.
Mhm.
What would you say is your favorite Halo to play out of all five or
Um,
six, technically?
I don't know, like all of them really, but 2 and 3 probably the most. Reach is still fun too. I like Reach as well.
Yeah, I feel like Reach is a little underrated.
I like playing Reach, but with like stripped down stuff, like without abilities.
Oh,
So yeah,
this makes it harder, I presume.
it makes it kind of like the classic ones, like Halo 2 and 3.
Okay.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right. Gotcha. Oh, okay. 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 Now I know what you're talking about with abilities now. Okay. I
yeah.
thought.
Like no sprinting and like shields and or like plasma orbs or whatever they're called, force shields.
All right.
Mhm.
What would you, all right. Uh, what is the first game you ever remember beating yourself? Like the first game you completed?
First game I completed probably just Super Mario Brothers. I mean, just whatever the NES Mario one. Super Mario. Was it
Super
Super
Mario
Mario back
World.
then?
Yeah.
Mario Brothers or whatever. The first one is on regular NES.
Man, I know you've probably seen the speed runs of those, like how you can beat, I think, Super Mario World in about 9 seconds or something like that.
I haven't seen that.
Oh man, you
That's
have to look
crazy.
that shit up. They it's totally wrecked. They totally wrecked the game. I
Yeah.
also I recently watched this documentary. I also posted it on the Facebook page about the this guy who tried to pursue and get all 32 Mario Kart world records. I was he didn't end up doing it, but he got so close, and there was such a competitive matchup with, because like he would get to 31, then like 15 minutes later, someone happens to break a world record on like the Rainbow Road or something like that.
It's crazy.
Have you ever tried the? Actually, damn, I remember you tried the. I don't think you were like doing it competitively, but I saw you do the Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty 2. You tried to speed run
Yeah.
that back in the day.
Two I could do in like 2.5 hours. So I was just fucking around without doing anything like tricks or anything. So yeah.
All right. Are you? What are you thinking about the new Metal Gear Solid movie?
I don't know. We'll see. The video game movies don't really translate too well, but
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It's like Metal Gear Solid is so nuanced, and just like the codec calls alone, if you add one up for the entire game, is like what, like 6 or 7 hours.
Yeah, but
That's
if
not
you
even
like,
cutscenes.
but Hideo Kojima or whatever, he was inspired by like Western like spy movies like James Bond and stuff. So it's gonna be like a movie, a video game inspired movie that was inspired by Western movies to begin with. So
Yeah,
it's kind of interesting.
it's ridiculous. Like in Metal Gear Solid Sons of Liberty, there's like a vampire that flamingo dances. Like it's so random. Only he can get away with something like that and still make a serious kind of game.
Yeah.
That-
Have you played his new game? That
Death Stranding.
package? Yeah, Death Stranding.
No, I have not.
Yeah,
Have
either
you?
have I. No, it doesn't sound fun, but I hear it's
Yeah,
good.
yeah. It seems like a task. Like I have
Yeah,
to just grind to do anything.
it doesn't sound fun at all. I don't know, but maybe I'll try it out one of these days.
Oh man. I'd rather just play No Man's Sky. Have you played that?
I haven't played it. No, I have Games Pass, so I know it's on that. I just haven't
Yeah.
downloaded it.
It's kind of it's legit. They definitely updated it compared to how it came out, which reminds me, what do you think about? Have you bought the Cyberpunk game, or is it
Yeah,
like
I have it.
is that on your menu possibly?
Yeah, I mean, I've almost beat it. I mean, I've
Oh,
done
I
the
thought you
main
said you
quest line.
haven't. Oh, okay.
No,
Oh,
I do have it. I do have it. Yeah,
oh, you have it. Okay.
yeah.
What are your thoughts on it? I haven't played it yet.
I haven't really had like it's not too buggy on PC. There's like some weird stuff that happens in like such a massive game, but for the most part, it's like 99% playable. Like I've had to reload a quest once or twice because something broke, but
That just happens though.
yeah, it happens sometimes. Like a script doesn't trigger or something like that. So
Yeah, especially a
mm,
game like that where it seems like it's so nuanced. You can meet characters, you can uh, do random shit. There's like people with jobs, kind of like how everyone I know who's ever played Skyrim, their game eventually crashes.
yeah, and I don't know. It's a fun game. I enjoy it a lot. So
See,
yeah,
like that's one of the only good reviews I heard of it. But when I seen the gameplay, it's like it looks solid.
yeah.
Besides the bugs,
hmm I mean, I
so
could. I mean, I played. I have like 50 hours in or something like that. So
that's
it's a
solid.
good amount of time in. I was off for Christmas break, so that's what I did.
Solid, solid. Damn, I was thinking about that one night because we used to be roommates for those who were watching. That we took some acid or some mixture like that.
Mhm.
I just got home from work. I went to go take a shower. I came back into the living room. You were passed out and you woke up to the Xbox 360
Uh-huh.
music visualization.
Yeah. Yeah,
That
that
shit
was
was
pretty
pretty
gnarly.
trippy.
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
after work. It was some acid, some good all.
All right.
So
So what is the difference between acid and something like fuck, what was it, like 25C or
yeah,
something?
25C, 25I. Well, those are technically like mescaline analogs. They're also pretty dangerous. There's an overdose potential on them, especially in like there's a high first of all there's a high like bad reaction. There's a high percentage of people that just have a bad reaction to any dose, which like causes their body to just like overheat, like sweats, nausea, stuff that you don't want when you're tripping. And then, but like if you can take it, like if you take it in a reasonable dose and you know what it is, like the problem with it was missold as LSD for a long time in that like mid 2000s. So, but if you know what it is in a safe dose, like you're perfectly fine taking it. And it's kind of like a mescaline analog. It's pretty different than acid. It's more like has like the euphoria of like a small hit of ecstasy, but with like slight visuals.
Hmm,
So I don't know. They're pretty different molecularly too.
okay. So what are your thoughts on the difference between something like acid and mushrooms when it comes to, because I'm sure you've delved pretty deeply into both of those realms. So visually, like, because I haven't seen like the geometrical patterns when I hallucinated before. I've seen energy, but I haven't seen like the fractals and the complete terror of reality.
Yeah. Well, they both could do it at high doses. They're pretty similar at high doses, but like before that, mushrooms definitely is more. You're not really in control of mushrooms. You're not really in control when you take acid either. But mushrooms kind of just like you're on for a ride. Like they hit you quick. Like you're done in like 4 to 6 hours, and it could get pretty intense. And like it's more of like an introspective drug. Where acid, I feel like you could um, choose if you want to have like a social experience or to be a solo experience. But it's also such a long trip. You could do both if you want to. And uh, acid also has like after the peak this dopamine resurgence that kind of makes you want to get up and move around, whereas psilocybin doesn't have that, and that's why it's kind of you feel kind of relaxed, whereas acid kind of gives you this weird energy. So those are the two main differences. As opposed to visuals, high doses of mushrooms will get pretty similar to DMT, where like you get really intense geometric patterns because psilocybin is a DMT molecule with like I believe phosphorus attached to it at the four ring, but I can't remember exactly. But yeah, it's just but at lower doses, like I feel like the mushroom visuals are a little more like organic, like
Mm.
nature like, whereas uh, acid at like lower doses, it's just like a little more like geometry like. I don't really know how to explain it, but
Okay, okay, all right.
those are the two main differences.
How about microdosing both? Because I remember that night where I just brought the Xbox 360 visualization.
Hmm.
I played Grand Theft Auto that night, and I feel like because we both took one little tab of something, I don't remember what it was now,
Yeah, that was
and
LSD.
it was LSD. Okay,
Yeah.
and I remember playing that game at the highest level I've ever played it at. Like I could see way down the road perfectly. I can count like, okay, these cars are going to intersect and I'm going to hit this way and I'm going to make a turn and go on this street like 5 seconds before it all happens, seeing every car moving perfectly. Could you explain like kind of what that type of how that makes sense?
I can't really explain how it makes. I mean, I don't know why it makes sense, but I have like a few hypotheses and theories. I'm pretty sure it's just because, not just because, like, well, your brain's like um, making connections that it doesn't usually make, so it's like working in different ways that you're not accustomed to. So that could probably be pretty good at planning out ahead. I don't really know how it relates because like at the same time, like while you could think really clearly on LSD, it could also confuse you greatly as well, depending on like the state that you're in and like what you're doing. So I don't know. I have no idea why that happens, but I have times where I play games like after my peak and I'm like on top of my game, I'm top of the leaderboard, top of everything.
Definitely. It's strange. Like I was talking to someone a few days ago who's never taken any hallucinogen before but wants to. I was saying that we were about 25 minutes into talking to each other. I was like, I could remember this entire conversation minute by minute, even if he stuttered. Like
Yeah,
in this 7 minute
exactly.
is it's crazy. Do you feel like maybe that's kind of closer to who we actually are, and maybe like the stories of like maybe the Bible or all the other stories of like how man fell in a way that we fell into like a lower vibratory rate, or so we can't interpret the higher realms at what people will say now.
Yeah,
What
I
do you
mean,
thought?
I think it's something along those lines. I think that like we live in a society where like we're overstimulated every day, right? Like I think we could agree on that. So like we constantly build up like our brain to like this ancient monkey brain that we have inside of our heads to like adapt to this world that we're living in that's constantly overstimulated, and it builds up, it figures out a way to somehow function in it, where like when you take a psychedelic or like whether you get this way through like meditation or like many other different ways, just get into like a zen like state, it kind of like breaks down like everything you built up to function in society. So it is, yeah, like almost a pure form of living or like a raw form of being in a state that we probably would naturally live in, but that's just not how we evolved as a society. So,
Yeah, it's crazy. It's
so I think
crazy.
it's not like I think that's why it's important that like people, if they take psychedelics or figure out how to get their therapy meditation, like figure out how to like let go of like everything they built up and just like step back for a second and really think about stuff. I think that's the most important part about doing any of that.
Definitely reach that zero brain where you're totally free.
Hmm.
I love it. I love it. I actually haven't hallucinated in years, but I plan on doing it sometime with my partner later this year because she's never done it before,
Hmm.
but she's interested. So whenever I can get my hands on them, I'm pretty sure. But all she wants to do is mushrooms, though. She ain't taking acid.
Yeah,
She doesn't trust. She wouldn't trust it unless like she knew the scientist. So she's like, she would take mushrooms.
that makes sense. I mean, it's easier to verify mushrooms than it is to chemical on a piece of paper. So, but yeah, I haven't tripped. I didn't really trip this past year. It's like it was a weird headspace with COVID and stuff. I was debating if I should or not, but I just didn't. I didn't want to force it, so it didn't feel right.
No, I
But
understand. I've had
yeah,
a bad trips before. Well, a bad trip before. Have you had a bad trip before?
like one time, a long time ago, I was like 18, and I owed my weed dealer like $200, and I ate some mushrooms, and like that's all I thought about was owing him $200. And the next day I paid him back, but it just ruined my trip. And it was just like, it made me realize how silly stuff was and how like that didn't really mean anything. If I would have just like manned up and talked to him that I didn't have his money and I'm working on getting it, it would have solved that whole like day of anxiety. And so that's kind of how, but it taught me a lesson to like just be upfront and with stuff instead of like keeping it back, keeping it inside yourself. So,
Totally. Because it's like I feel like when you keep it inside yourself, in a way, it's kind of like a inflammation, but kind of energetic inflammation.
yeah.
Like because when I had a bad trip, it was similar as well. I was kind of just in my head focused on the past. So
Mm-hmm.
I was tripping out. Like I felt like I was sick. Like my stomach hurt. I was like, yo, my stomach hurts. Oh, my stomach hurts so
Mm-hmm.
bad, right? And
Mm-hmm.
we were drinking beer, so I had to pee eventually. I go into the bathroom and I start pissing, and I'm looking at my pee hit the water in the toilet. For some reason, that shit just made me laugh, and all of a sudden, I felt perfectly fine. My stomach didn't hurt anymore. Like everything was clear. The bad
Mm-hmm.
trip was gone. I was like, "Holy shit! Is this what I'm thinking?" Then I started thinking bad thoughts again. And I felt sick all over again. I was like, "Holy shit!" Like I'm in control of how I feel. Like
Yeah.
I mean, like on a thinking level, not just. It was wild. It kind of that really blew my mind. That was before we met up. That was about a year and a half or so.
Yeah, like I don't know, they definitely teach you lessons and like dealing with bad trips sometimes you how to deal with it or like just you could get out of them if you just like change environment, change what you're doing, change scenery. Helps a
Totally,
lot. Yeah.
totally. Like my bad trip ended up being like my best trip.
Oh yeah. They switched up on you or just learned the most from it.
Yeah. After I pissed and I laughed, I was like, yo, it's totally what I think, and I was totally fine for the rest of the night. Like I saw energy on the walls. Like I listened to Pink Floyd and shit. We
Hmm.
were camping, just putting. It felt so primitive, like hallucinating, and all we were doing was like, we have to get wood for the fire because we're out in
Yeah.
the mountains, and like
Yeah.
if without the fire, it was pitch black. We can't see shit.
Uh-huh. Yeah, no,
And
that's like
like,
my favorite place to trip is in the mountains. Like
it's like, oh, get wood for the fire. Yeah, we need more wood.
keeps you entertained the whole time. Yeah.
Oh
I don't know,
man,
because like when I trip in nature, I never feel like, what am I doing? Let me find something to do. Like if I trip at home, sometimes you get those thoughts. It's just like you need to figure out a way to entertain yourself, or just like you can't just sit there. It's hard to sit there for 4 6 hours just in your own thoughts. You gotta
yeah,
do something else and entertain yourself.
damn.
That's that's where like I don't know where McKenna, he says like 5 grams of mushrooms in the dark for like 5 hours.
Mm.
I mean, I feel like you should spend some time alone in your head, but you don't need to spend the whole time.
Totally. Tennis,
Oh yeah.
I've gotten up on some of his brother's work as well. Like he does a lot of, he's trying to end sadness forever. He has a few good lectures on YouTube.
Hmm.
I'll send you that shit.
Yeah.
Uh, have you heard of Kalindi Iyi?
Mm-mm, I have not.
He's a he ended up dying last year.
Oh, is it that one YouTube video you
Yeah,
posted?
yeah,
Yeah. Oh,
that's
yeah.
right. He
Yeah, I know
got
that dude.
addicted.
I just don't know his name.
Yeah, he took like 40 grams of mushrooms. What's the most mushrooms you've ever taken before? That's basically what I wanted
Uh,
to ask. Hold on, got, got kind of lost for a second. Hold on.
oh, you're back.
All right, yeah, okay.
There we go. Yeah, the most amount I've ever taken. I don't know, a lot. So when I first got into them in Florida, they grow everywhere, like in the cow pastures, and so after a while, we got smarter. We would just tell the farmers we're doing like research for school and mycology or fungal research or anything like that, and they would just let us walk across their pastures and we would just get a bunch of mushrooms. We would just get like a trash bag full, me and
Holy
like
shit!
5 or 6 friends, and just wash them off and brew. I make sure we identify all of them, but we were pretty good at identifying them at this
Yeah.
point. They're pretty clear. Make a pot of tea with just however many we want. We fill it up to the top, and make a pot of tea and just sip it for a few hours until we felt like we were in a good spot.
Holy fuck! Damn, that's you were near those realms then. Like
Yeah,
you were at least you had to have at least eaten 20 grams a few times if you had a
probably.
lot. Yeah.
On some like fish runs too, probably gone pretty deep on like a few tabs DMT and mushrooms sometimes. So
All right, explain your DMT experience because I was telling people about Mike's
when he thought it was, he's like, it's just
experience.
DMT, and he hits the ball.
He like started crying. He said he saw the universe from the beginning of time to the end of time. He saw God and it was so beautiful. What was it like that?
Pretty much, if you break through, it's like this place splits apart and like geometry rips it apart, and then you just like get sent to another realm where like you're interacting with something.
Mm. So
You don't
what do
know
you
what.
think of those deities or those beings? Do you think they're like a figment of like a collective unconsciousness, or do you think they're real and like you can communicate with them?
I don't know. Like that's something like so I'm like a scientist. So when I think of like stuff, like it's hard for me to say something exactly until like I can prove it exactly. Like I have
Okay.
stuff that I believe. Like I believe like it's either like I believe like we're somehow accessing like energies like stored out in like these molecules that have been in existence since the beginning of time. I think it's somehow we're getting to that space. I don't know how or like how we're accessing that, because like if you read a lot into people's near-death experiences, it sounds a lot like DMT like experiences too. It's so like other like, and
Yeah.
which is also the people say that your brain's being flooded with that the near-death time, or is it like you're actually going somewhere else? So like I think that's still a question where like still needs a lot further to explore, especially as these psychedelics become at least decriminalized to the point where we could study them in our lifetime. Like we should be able to see some answers on what's going on there. If I don't know, there's some stuff you just can't explain. Like we're still learning about the quantum realm, which just makes no fucking sense and breaks all laws of physics. But like we got
Yeah.
to be able to think about that with consciousness in the same way too. Where like there's consciousness that exists that we'll probably never be able to understand or figure out.
Mm. Definitely.
And like maybe we're just getting a glimpse of it. Maybe it's another dimension. I don't know. Like I've done it a lot to the point where like I stop questioning what's going on, and and just like take the experience for what it is, because I don't know, like you start, that's a pretty deep rabbit hole to go down.
True. And the thing is, hold on. Let me drink some tea real quick. Shit. Because like people will take mushrooms and whatnot, and they'll say they can communicate with their ancestors.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, I know you've played Assassin's Creed. I believe a lot about like your DNA. You can tap into lost traits, or like you can you can view past people in your lineage's life.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're tapping in, when you're taking mushrooms and you're talking to your ancestors, I don't know if that means you're actually talking to them or if you're just communicating with them via your DNA,
Yeah,
or
that's
if there's even a difference between that.
Exactly. I don't know, like animal instincts. Like there's some animals that like know where to go like spawn or like know where to go breed or know where certain food is without even being shown. They're born that way and they're able to like know these spots. And so
Exactly.
like I don't know, like I do believe stuff's hard coded DNA or even further hard coded to like atoms and molecules and quarks and particles. Like I think there's information on everything. And yeah, I mean it's all there, like it's all the same energy recycled.
Exactly.
Hmm.
Everything here is mostly carbon, right?
Hmm.
And even in the Bible, they say the name of the beast is 666, and that's 6 electrons, 6 neutrons, and 6 protons, which is
Hmm.
carbon. Then like carbon is a Saturn, like the carbon giant, known as having the most condensed carbon so much that it rains diamonds. So I'm like, if you connect everything to what the Bible was talking about, it's like it's they're just talking about the planet Saturn.
Hmm.
So that gets me to, since you're a scientist mind, do you think, what are your thoughts on something like astrology being kind of like a sun projection towards like energy portals, and like you are kind of a snapshot of that when you're born? What are your thoughts on something like that?
I don't know too in depth into astrology, but like I do believe that cosmic events have an effect on who we are and what happens as a human being, just because there's so many forces at work, and like maybe like just the slightest bit difference is what causes variances in humans and different animals. Like I don't know, it's it's definitely a possibility. I wouldn't discount it whatsoever. I just don't know. It's not my like field of study that I don't go know too much about. I know like the very basic astrology stuff. I know like the signs and like places of the suns, and then there's difference between like the sun, moon, lunar, and like Earth positions, but that's about it.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Like I'll tell you something, because I delved into astrology pretty deeply for a little bit. I don't anymore, because I realized that it's kind of just talking about what is. So it's
Mhm.
just kind of a fancy way to talk about what's already going on. Like what I realized is that most of my greatest friends I've ever had, they're born closer to a new moon than a full moon. And that's interesting for me, because I was born directly at a full moon. Like the moon was 2 degrees past being exactly aligned uh, with the sun. So I was like, oh shit, that's interesting that most of my greatest friends are real close to the new moon.
Yeah, I was the new moon
So
on
what?
my birthday. I just looked up my birthday. Um, my birthday, Wednesday, September 23rd, 1987, was the new moon. At 3:08, there's a solar eclipse.
Oh, new moon? You were born on a
Yeah,
new moon?
yeah, born on the new moon.
Wow. See, that's what I'm talking about, man. It's weird how I just brought that up. But yeah, I totally noticed that, man. It's kind of blew my mind.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting observation.
And the thing that kind of pushed me over the edge to kind of delve into it near the beginning was that I was dating a Pisces, and I used to just look at the random horoscopes for fun and whatnot. Then I looked up what the Aquarius perspective of dating a Pisces would be like, and it just nailed it. I was like, holy shit. Like, I was like, all right, I have to at least look into this a little bit more now. And that's how I went down that rabbit hole.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I never really like looked into it that much at all. Cass is more into it than I am. So
It's pretty fascinating, but it's just one of those things that it's you get to the point where you just no real reason to even keep studying it. Like it's not. There's a cat. You can, yeah, I'm sure I can learn more, but it's getting to it's almost a diminishing returns, because it's I can use my time to study something else now. I haven't
yeah,
looked into it for years.
yeah. No, I get that feeling. I get that. It's kind of you get like sometimes it's good to take a step back from something too when you get burnt out with it. Just take a step back and maybe you could revisit it and maybe not.
Yeah, like all you really need to know is the basics, and you can basically know all you need to know about astrology, because it's really perspective.
Mhm.
Because let's say you're getting a perspective from one sign to look at another sign, then you have to think about if those signs match. They'll tell you about a sign, but if those signs don't match up together, then you'll hear just that perspective. So it's like, to people who go to astrologers don't realize, I don't know this. I don't know. People don't think too past the surface level on a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
mean,
stuff.
isn't that just the general population with everything?
Totally. Do you still play League of Legends randomly?
Yeah, I took a break. I started playing again recently.
All right. All right. I'm gonna try this. How can that translate to? I know that it has to be built basically how Smite's built.
Oh, I think I
So
got
who?
Smite down. I did pretty good at it. I think I got it down.
All right. So like, who'd you say you used?
I used the Hunter,
Hunter.
Artemis, I think, the cat
Artemis.
like one.
Ah, I love Artemis. Artemis is she's a buck. And
Yeah,
if you know how to play League, you can probably play that for sure.
yeah, I played it pretty easily. I just put auto buy on just because I wasn't trying to figure out the shop. So I don't know what I was using.
Yeah, I I've only really played Arena, so I
Mhm.
don't really know how to play like like how you play League of Legends, how it has that like the
Yeah,
main,
the
like you have to take out
Nexus,
the.
yeah, and the towers and
Yeah,
stuff. Yeah.
I haven't done that, so you can probably guide me on that a little bit more. I've been playing more Arena. It's like a 5-on-5 battle. The
Mhm.
minions just run into the middle. You go into the middle. Whoever kills each other wins.
Yeah,
It's very fascinating to play that.
yeah, I had pretty fun with it. It was pretty fun. So looking
Fuck
forward
yeah.
to playing it.
Awesome. Awesome. Let's- Oh yeah, hold on. Let me show you the what I saw on what I got from a website that brought up can you see this?
It's, yeah, now I can.
Okay. I'm trying to find where it's at. Okay. Earth's wobble. Okay. We were talking I was we Me and you were talking about how the ancient pyramids, the Kukulkan in Maya, they had eight on the solstice, the winter and the summer. The shadow casts onto the pyramid, and it makes the illusion that a snake is slithering down.
Mhm.
So I was thinking, like, okay, if the Earth is wobbling at 11 yards every century, and the pyramids were built a few thousand years ago, how could it possibly align?
Yeah. So I was just playing kind of devil's advocate, and so like what I like to do with a lot of stuff, especially with stuff I see online, is like instead of finding stuff that supports it, find stuff that disproves it.
Oh yeah, that's what I was
Yeah.
doing.
And so yeah, so you did. So I did the same thing too. So I was just thinking that like so 11 yards a century, like it may seem like a lot, but say like those pyramids were built like what 1,000 years ago, roughly.
No, no, they were built at least 3 to 4 thousand years ago.
Okay, but still, 3 to 4 thousand years ago, just on the grand scheme of things, say like even if it's wobbling 11 yards per year, if it's say wobbling 11 yards and on an axis left and right, or if it's wobbling 11 yards completely off, I don't know. Does
Yeah,
that make like
no, that's why I have it right here. Can you see the screen? Hold on. What they said is that it moves randomly. Like here it says it's no longer moving towards Hudson Bay, but
mhm.
instead it's moving towards the British Isles. So like
Okay,
it
so even
wobbles
so
randomly in different directions.
okay, so that like makes the at the greatest point of wobbling, the way it would be mostly displaced if as if it was kept moving the same direction over those 3,000 years, right? So, but it hasn't been. So it's just moving back and forth, kind of like wobbling back and forth, right? Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah, so no matter how much it's wobbling in this space, that distance to the sun isn't going to really affect that. At 3,000 years, that's still only like 300 yards. That's like such a small, that's 3 football fields. That's such a small distance from here to the sun that that's not going to make that much of a difference in the grand scheme of things. That shadow's still going to be the same shadow in the sky that's going to cast down.
Yeah, but I feel like the locations would be different though, because just
It's like such a
it's the
small, it's like less than
solstice.
zero, less than 0.1% if you do the math. Like it's way less than that. So like it's such a small fraction of a percent. It's an insignificant number. And so that's what I think's going on. Like I haven't done the math. It seems like such a small number that I didn't even bother.
Uh, on one. All right, but yeah, I mean, I don't really know the answer to that question. I just posed it, and you actually had something to say about it. One of my lights just died. How do I get to the back to the regular screen? Yeah. Oh man, hold on. I got some crazy Smite highlights. I don't know how to go back to the regular screen, so I might as well show you this. uh, this is me actually playing with Artemis right here. Like you can see the score and whatnot.
It's not playing.
This is, you can tell. Well, this is kind of old.
It's not
Like,
playing.
see, they need one more point, right? I end up getting a fucking triple kill, almost quadruple kill.
I couldn't see it.
Oh, you couldn't see it? Oh, damn.
I just see your folder. I don't know why the video didn't play.
Oh man, that's odd. Oh well, hold on. Can you see this? You still can't see?
No.
Anywho, I play with Artemis. I play with a character named Chalk. He he's a warrior. Oh, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I
Okay, okay.
was trying something out.
Oops, I accidentally muted you.
You can keep talking. I'll be right back in like 1 second.
All right, cool. Yeah, but I play with this character named Chalk. He's a warrior. He's one of the only characters that can heal himself. All right, how do I get? Okay. Also, I like to play with a Sobek. He has the most annoying move in the game because it's like a dash forward. He grabs you and he throws you like a few yards behind him. So it's a good catapult to get someone trapped into like someone special. And he's a tank character, so it's pretty effective. Cthulhu, oh man, I'm so glad they added Cthulhu because I've been looking into, well, I've been listening to the H.P. Lovecraft audio books.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen that show, Lovecraft Country?
I have not.
It's pretty solid.
What is it? What's the show?
Called Lovecraft County.
What's it on?
It's based on a book that's based on Lovecraft's books. It's on HBO. All right, let's see. Who you rolling with? Artemis. I got the Golden Artemis and the Briar Queen outfit unlocked. Oh, while you're there, see if you can add me. I know it's cross-platform for sure, but it should be Wake Bake Pray because that's my Xbox gamer tag.
I have no idea how to do it.
Shit. It's not there. It's I don't know how to do it on the PC. Yeah, it's all right. Well,
Yeah.
we'll figure it out. Go ahead.
Hmm.
Neath is a beast character. Let's see, Kukulkan. Khan. Like you're gonna fight against Kukulkan Khan or have Kukulkan Khan on your team many times. You're going against Sobek. I was just talking about Sobek. Thor. He's pretty. He's versatile. He can chase you down. He his special is he flies in the air. He can land far away. Oh, go left. Go where you see your teammates. Okay. All right. Usually at the beginning of these games, you take out these little minions on the side.
Hmm. I was just putting down a trap middle.
Oh yeah, yeah. I'm just narrating for whoever's watching, and since I don't know if you've played this mode or what's going on. Neath. Oh yeah. Speaking of Neath, do you know how there's theories that the ancient pyramids were used as like ritual chambers, like they would take psychedelics and whatnot and lock themselves in there for maybe weeks on end and listen to like certain tones, because you know like how the pyramids kind of they emit a certain sound.
Yeah.
So they would have musical kind of like a concert, but like kind of more dope, because imagine having a concert inside a pyramid. Let's see. So back. Okay. Damn, I'm about to hop on, man.
What does F and G do? Like, I don't really know what those do.
FNG.
Like the
Oh,
spells
okay,
on the
okay.
side.
The the one that says one is a trap. So
No,
you
so the
put it
F
on the
and
ground
G,
and they'll
yeah.
run over it. They'll be trapped in the same spot for about depending on how high the level is. The second one is a speed boost. You can run faster and you shoot faster. And three, that's you shoot a trap in the air that falls down and kind of like in a circular pattern, and it slows them and it attacks them. Like it slows them down a little bit. And the last one, that's your special. You send out your boar, which Artemis in Greek mythology is known to be like the huntswoman. You sent your boar out and you trap them kind of again, and they can't move for a few seconds. And you as a passive, Artemis has a boost against anyone who's currently going through a crowd control. That's so when you do that, you get your extra boost along with the crowd control damage. And if anybody is using a crowd control, you get a boost with their crowd control. Let's see. Okay. What's barely doing?
I think I'm doing pretty good, right?
Yeah, he doing solid for sure, for sure. Okay, what's that item you picked? Why'd you pick that item?
I don't know. I have on auto buy.
Oh, okay, okay.
And then so like the spell that's on cooldown for 96 seconds. What does that do? And the one next to it.
That's your item. I'm trying to see what item you. Okay, the one next to it is a escape, crowd control item. Damn, you're doing pretty solid, man. All right,
Probably playing against new people too that like never
true.
played this type of game
Yeah,
before.
you're right. True, but shit. Okay, so one day you're gonna. I mean, not one day, but when you play this game, you're gonna play against someone like Hades or Baron Samedi or Ares. they're crowd control. They grab you and they can take you towards them. So you can use one of those items to get out of that.
Okay, that makes sense.
But there's a whole bunch of different items. Like once you get back to the shop and once you start picking like what items you have, you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Hold on one second. Hey.
I'm upstairs, but
Yeah.
I need you to drill the holes. So
Okay.
close them.
Okay. I will be off in about 10 minutes, and I'll help you. Okay. All right.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna do it.
Yeah, I'll do the whole story for the dressers. Okay. All right. I got some dressers left to finish stealing
I understand.
after this game. But yeah, we'll have to play. It's pretty fun.
Oh yeah, I love this game. Uh-oh. I think we lost connection again. Let's see. All right, we're back.
So, who do you mainly play?
I play as Artemis a lot. I play as Chalk. I play as Sobek. I play as Pele. I like Sun Wukong as well. Ymir, like there's a lot. It really just depends on who I'm playing it with. But I usually do pick Artemis, Pele, and Chalk a lot right now. Oh yeah, and Bologna. I like it really. Yeah, it just depends really. I go through phases.
I just had 4K gold. I just realized.
How many kills do you have?
9
Nine.
and
Nine. Whoa. Okay. Oh, okay. Let's see. I don't know what that first item is, but you have a power boost with the
I'm playing
speed
against. No, I'm
with
not playing against
the
bots.
boot, and you have an item that when you get, I think if you get a minion kills, or if you get for sure if you get player kills, it gets stronger the more you get. Right now you're at 13. Then you have the crit damage and the crit percentage boost. That's the last item there with like that looks like a scythe kind of. Damn, like y'all are fucking demolishing them. This is insanely one-sided. This is crazy. I think that's Mulan, right? No, is that Mulan? No, it's not Mulan. But yeah, Mulan's in this game.
Yeah, I saw they have like Ninja Turtle skins now. Can't aim.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know if you ever watched Avatar, the cartoon.
No, never watched it.
Okay, yeah, they had skins for that as well. Um, fuck, what's that? Yeah, it's some anime. Do you watch anime?
Not really. Just Dragon Ball.
Ah,
Doesn't even hurt me. Where's my base?
it's back that direction, straight. I think that's yours. Yeah. Oh shit!
No.
No, that's oh man, my bad. I can't tell. It looks like some of the stuff's bugged. Okay. Damn. Legit. Wow. I want to see what your damage was and least damage taken. Top kills. Nemesis. Nemesis has a lot of protections. Go to okay. 22 G's. Okay. And wow. Okay.
Look at everybody else.
Legit. Damn. Go the scoreboard real quick. Go over that item, the first one. What does that do? Basic attack.
And it's just like it's an MP5 magic power. I don't know.
I'm not sure. I don't even know what that means. I have
It's
to
like
look it up.
gold. It's probably gold for 5 seconds. I don't know. But I gotta finish this furniture that we started earlier.
Oh yeah, man. We'll game pretty soon, man. But
That
yeah, it
should
was
write
nice
it, yeah.
talking, man. Yeah, well, yeah, man. Talk with you later, man. Have a solid night.
All right. Later, man.